Hello, everybody. It's the man of the hour, the Tower of Power. I'm both sweet and sour. I can put a smile on your face at almost any place. The Ayatollah of football, Ola, Mr. November, coming at you. We're live from the home office in Bakersville, Ohio, bringing you episode 3 of Mr. November's Ohio Football. Hey, simple facts are, everybody I interview has won. So, go into DraftKings, FanDuel, MGM, however you bet, and whoever I interview on today's episode, I would bet they're going to win. Right now, we're looking at 10-0. All 5 people from both weeks. Week 1, 5-0. The new people, week 2, 5-0. It's a guarantee. So, hey, you got to go with it. Make some money off of it. Tell them Mr. November sent you. Okay. As we do the rundown through the regions, we're going to start separating the contenders from the pretenders. So let's go ahead and let's dive into region number 1. Looking at region 1, all top 4 seeds are still remaining. Lakewood St. Ed drilled Berea Mid-Park 45-14. So they are moving on, and they'll play Toledo Whitmer. Whitmer defeated Perrysburg in a rather tight contest for this region, 17-3. Minner 52, Jackson 6. So quite a drubbing there. And we had McKinley, the 3 seed, defeated Medina 30-7. So we have Minner and McKinley going to face off. And I'd like to see McKinley maybe sneak through there, give me some old school vibes. They've struggled here the past several years. Looks like everything's getting back on track for them. Lakewood St. Ed's probably still my first choice to come out of this region right now. In region 2, Middletown, the 1 seed, blanked Lebanon 31-0. So they will play Springfield, the 5 seed, who had a minor upset beating Springsboro 21-3. I sort of like Middletown in that one, the 1 seed. And down the lower bracket, Troy, the 2 seed, defeated Hilliard Bradley 23-22 in a downright tilly. They're going to move on to play the 6th seed, Huber Heights Wayne, who defeated Findlay 34-10. I will take Huber Heights Wayne over Troy when I think it will be a pretty tight contest. In Region 3, Olentangy Orange defeated Berlin 43-14. So they'll move on to play Olentangy Liberty, who blanked regular Olentangy 17-0. I'm going ahead and go with the number 1 seed Orange on here. I just think they're really loaded this year and just a little bit better than Liberty. But, hey, a crosstown rival could be a good old-fashioned Donnybrook, like we talked about some other games last week. And all these Olentangy schools beating up on each other this past week in that upper bracket. Now, moving down to the lower bracket, the number 2 seed, Pickett Central, beat up on Groveport Madison 42-7. They'll be playing Upper Arlington, the 6th seed, who knocked off Pick North, the 3 seed, 30-27. I like Pick Central right here. Coach Justin Buttermore and Upper Arlington Golden Bears putting a nice little run together, but I think their luck's going to run out and they'll lose a close one to Pick Central. In the southwest side of the corner of the state, Region 4, we're looking at some Cincinnati schools here who have been dominant for a long, long time. Elder, the 1 seed, will be playing Princeton, the 4 seed. Elder defeated Fairfield 27-7, and Princeton held on to beat Winton Woods 23-22. I'll go ahead and take Elder to move on to the regional championship right there. And Moeller defeated Lakota West 33-14. They're the 2 seed. They'll be playing the 3 seed St. X, who put a whipping on Lakota East 42-7. This is a toss-up, folks, right here. Since Moeller was in the state championship last year, I'm going to go ahead and give them a benefit of doubt and squeaking by St. X. But, that's purely a pick-em right there if you want to place any wagers. This Division I look was brought to you by Sean Starr Security. Sean Starr Security protects what matters the most, your home business, and give peace of mind. They're highly trained professionals, and cutting-edge technology keep you secure 24/7. From surveillance to on-site patrols, they deliver reliability that you can trust. So go with Sean Starr call in Lakeville, Ohio. Now in Division 2, Region 5, we have Archbishop Hoban, the 1 seed, railroaded Boardman 38-0. They will go on and play the 5 seed Hudson, who narrowly defeated the Lake Blue Streaks 14-12. I will take Hoban winning that one and going on to the regional final. Down in the lower part of the bracket, we have Walsh Jesuit, the 2nd seed, beating Ordonia 49-18, and they will face Austintown Fitch, who squeaked by Green 28-25. I'll take Walsh Jesuit in this one, and this will set up a rematch from week 6 where Hoban narrowly defeated Walsh Jesuit. In Region 6, Medina Highland defeated Broadview Heights 38-7, so they'll move on to play North Ridgeville, who defeated Anthony Wayne 42-7. I'll go ahead and take Medina Highland in that upper bracket game to move on to the regional championship. And in the lower bracket, the 2nd seed Wadsworth defeated St. Francis de Sales 34-6. So they're 11-0 now in the 2 seed, and they'll go on to play defending state champion Avon, who defeated Homestead Falls 46-13. Avon defending state champs, I really like them moving on. Sorry, Justin Todd, love you, buddy. But I think your magical season is coming to an end. Avon has too many weapons in this game. Region 7, all 4 top seeds are still alive as Big Walnut ran roughshod over Walnut Ridge 43-0. Canal Winchester wins by a touchdown over Westerville South 28-21. I like Big Walnut to get to the regional championship next week over Canal Winchester. Down in the lower bracket, DeSales defeated Ashland in a close game 33-29, winning at the last second. They'll be playing Massillon Washington, who drilled Hoover 62-7. I will take Massillon Washington. They have Paul Brown on their side. So look for Big Walnut and Massillon Washington to be in the regional finals next week. Region 8, Anderson, number 1 seed, defeated Withrow 29-6. They'll move on and play LaSalle, who defeated Xenia narrowly 14-7. Like Anderson coming out of this, they've been pretty dominant majority of the year if you look at their scores. In the lower bracket, Harrison defeated Kings Mills 35-31, another close game. They will move on to play Trotwood Madison, the 3 seed, who ran roughshod over Lima Senior 55-12. I like Madison, the 3 seed, coming out of this to play Anderson in the regional championship. The Division 2 roundup was brought to you by New Deal Used Cars. The country's gone crazy. Prices are through the roof. Even the president said that inflation is a big, ugly monster. Well, at New Deal Used Cars, they've got the solution. They're not just fighting inflation. We're bringing you deals that are out of this world. They have a 72 Caddy for less than $6,000. 73 Lincoln, it's a great machine and New Deal. They'll have a price that will make you smile. So come on down to New Deal Used Cars. They'll make you a deal you can't refuse. They're bringing prices down, not your budget. Like always, sponsoring our officially Jamie segment will be the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. They've been serving the Tuscarawas Valley since 1885. Who even knew that they needed insurance in 1885, really? Like if the barn burnt down, the house burnt down, you just rebuilt it or you went broke and you starved to death. But by goodness, we had insurance back then. What a concept. Who knew? But anyhow, I'm telling you what, call Zach up, his crack staff. They are a bunch of insurance vigilantes. They will save you guys money, so give them a call at the Tuscarawas Insurance Agency. Coming up on the Michi's Pizza Hotline will be OHSAA official Jamie McCrae. But first of all, let's put a shameless plug in for Amici's Pizza. The best pizza in Coshocton County, voted year in and year out. And remember, stop by and do the field goal contest. But, hey, I made a mistake last week. I said, if you kick a field goal across the street through the goalpost in front of Amici's Pizza, you win a Jonesy. I did not prerequisite with that you also need to bring your own snapper and also your own holder. So, snapper, holder, you be the kicker. If it goes through, you got to dodge traffic, obviously. You know, somebody could go through and block your kick. You get a free Jonesy. Mr. McCrae, how are you doing this week?
Great, Ed. Thanks for having me.
Our officially Jamie segment right here. So, we talked a little bit earlier, and you brought up when in doubt. So, tell us about when in doubt.
Well, contrary to belief, we don't have all the answers out there, and a lot of times we don't have the best view of it. So there's a few special situations, I guess, where the OHSAA gives us some guidance of when in doubt, what do we call?
So when in doubt, you throw a flag?
When in doubt, we don't throw a flag, usually, unless it's a case of safety. And then they want us to err on the side of safety. But no, most of the time, we're not throwing a flag if we're in doubt.
Okay. So carry on.
So I guess the biggest role that official plays is to keep the game, yes, fair for both teams, but even more so safe for the players. So if there's any doubt around whether to make a call based on player safety or not, they would rather us make that penalty call if it involves safety. Situations like defenseless players, situations like dead ball personal fouls or things like that. They want us to keep player safety at utmost importance. So that's the first one. If there's any safety involved, we want to consider that for the kids first.
Okay.
But number two, if in doubt, says if there's doubt, it's not a foul. So if, let's say, like last week we were talking about holding, let's say if I think, that might have been a hold, it didn't look great, but I'm not sure, well, there's doubt, so it's not a foul. If I'm in doubt about, somebody lining up, whether they're in the backfield or whether they're not in the backfield, whether they're on the line of scrimmage, need to give them the benefit of the doubt. So there's a lot of situations like that. Well, the next one would be, if in doubt, the player is in bounds. I think that one's more so for clock management. We will take into account at the end of games if the player is, trying to get out of bounds. But if in doubt, the player is in bounds. If in doubt, we're going to measure for that first down. The advent of turf fields has taken away a lot of the measurements, if you haven't noticed. I think our crew had exactly one this year.
Really?
Yeah, we try to start each first down on at least a tick mark, on a hash. So, it's pretty cut and dry whether we have it or not. But there's situations where the ball's down in a side zone where we'll want to measure if it's close.
Now here's a question: do you guys go by those yellow lines that we see on TV?
Only if they have them there at the game. It would make things a lot easier. Like I said, it's not with the turf fields. It is a lot easier. There's not very many lines. Now we have seen a couple lines that aren't perfectly straight on our travels, but most of the lines on the fields are pretty darn straight, and it makes our job easier. So, but if there is in doubt, we're going to measure for that first down, especially if it's a third or fourth down situation. Second down, we might not measure if it's really close, but definitely on a third or fourth down, we're going to measure.
Okay.
Some other times we take into account whether a kickoff or a punt, if it's near the end zone. If it's near the end zone, now the end zone is a plane, so it's not just a line on the field. It theoretically is like a plane of glass that goes straight up. And if a ball crosses that, it's a touchback or a touchdown, depending on which way we're going. But if there's any doubt, it's not a touchback. We want to let them return the ball. Same way with a touchdown. If in doubt, it's not a touchdown or safety. We want to make sure that we see that ball cross that line. If we don't see the ball cross the line, we're not rolling touchdown. This comes into effect, with the tush push, which obviously in high school you're not allowed to push the ball carrier.
Yes.
But we still have those scrum situations where you guys will put those two sniffer backs in the A gaps and push the pile. Now, our mechanics say that our wing officials have to be 2 yards out of bounds if the ball's inside the 5. So that's a long way to go, long way to see. We can get a little bit of help from our umpire, the guy right behind the linebackers.
Yep.
But they have to be able to see the ball in the end zone before they signal touchdown.
And theoretically, the ball can cross the goal line and you can score a touchdown without stepping foot into the end zone.
Absolutely. We see it all the time. Used to be the great one, back in our day, we jumped over the pile, right?
Yeah.
That running back would extend the ball out, and a lot of times get pushed back. A lot of you don't see that as much anymore. If anybody saw the play at Indian Valley this weekend, there was a receiver caught a pass, made the turn upfield, which completed the catch, stuck the ball out and lost control of it right at the goal line. That official ruled that the touchdown was scored when he stuck the ball out, and it wasn't a fumble. If he would have dropped the ball inbound or in the field of play, it would have been a fumble and ultimately a touchback because it rolled through the end zone.
I did see that video. Yeah, that was really a questionable one. So now I understand that.
My thought when I watched that was, I'm sure glad that wasn't me that made it.
Yeah,
I had to make that call. The next one I have is, if in doubt, the runner did not fumble. Okay, again, when we see the ball on the ground, we want to know how it got there. First of all, if it's a pass, again, we will not call it incomplete unless we see the ball hit the ground. But if it's a fumble, it's one of those balls on the ground. If in doubt, the runner did not fumble.
Okay. Hey, here's a question. In those scrums going for a loose ball, what's the worst you've ever seen?
The worst. Again, I haven't seen a ton of those in my 7 years on varsity action. The worst is if you're the first there, because if you're the first official there, you've got to jump in. You've got to basically jump in with them and try to dig for the ball. And, kids don't know who or what they're grabbing.
Exactly.
I always try to be the second one there so that I can start pulling players off.
Okay.
But the worst part is if you're, you kind of lose perspective when you're down there and you get up and point which way you think the ball's going and you point the wrong way. I've done that before and had to say, whoops, my bad, guys. And then I make half the crowd mad, half the crowd happy when I point the other way. So that's not a good situation to be in. I always take my time and make sure I point the right way now. Next one is, if in doubt, the player is on the offensive line of scrimmage. Again, we got back to that, whether that wing back is on or off. If there's any doubt, we want him on. It used to be like that gray area. People would get flagged for people being in the gray area. If that's the situation, we'll talk to them and say, hey, you need to make sure tell us you're on, and we'll move you accordingly or make sure you're off accordingly. Next one is, if in doubt, it is roughing the kicker. Again, that's kind of a safety issue. We want to make sure we err on the side of safety there. If in doubt, it is roughing the kicker. And the last one is, if in doubt, on a punt, the foul by the receiving team near the line of scrimmage is post-scrimmage kick. That gets technical, but here's the reason why we want to make sure that if the if the receiving team commits a foul before the punter kicks it, we can mark that off as a running play. We can mark that off in the previous spot and give that punting team a first down. So if it's close, if we're not sure the ball is punted in the air, we're going to err. If in doubt, he did punt it. We'll mark off that holding from the end of the run.
Okay.
So that's just some of the things. If we're not sure of, I guess I skipped over a couple. If in doubt, the kickoff, punt, or pass is untouched, and if in doubt, the pass is forward. That might be the biggest trick that our side officials, our wing officials have is with the advent of the bubble screen and the jailbreak screen. There's a lot of passes that are right on the verge of being forward passes or backwards passes. And more often than not, when we blow that whistle and say it's a forward pass and we look back and it was a backwards pass, that could be a big play in the game and one we don't want to miss because that's a potential turnover for the defense. And if we have any doubt, we say that the pass is forward. So that's how we handle some things like that. It's not always perfect, but it does kind of get us out of trouble. And I guess the overriding factor in everything is we want to make sure the kids have a safe environment to play in.
Yeah, I know in the lateral passes, I've always tried to preach to kids, go get on the ball no matter what, because you don't know what angle the referee may have been on. So whether you're on offense and dropped it, or it's a bad pass to you, or if you're playing defense out there, go scoop the ball up, recover it, take off running, and do something.
Now, of course, we don't have instant replay in high school, but we've taken a little bit of the philosophies that the college and pros game have. Well, in a situation like that, we can hold our whistle. And we can get help from maybe a backside official who may have seen it better. Mm-hmm. But once we blow the whistle, the play's dead. We can't recreate it. But if we say we think it may be backwards, we're going to hold our whistle, let the play run out a little bit, and maybe get that information. And let's say the defense does recover, but that wing official from the backside comes in and says, "Hey guys, I had a good look at it. It was a forward pass." We can call it incomplete then, and nothing's hurt. Okay. But once we blow the whistle, it's plays over. We may have an inadvertent whistle. We may have to replay that down again. But so we're kind of taking a little bit of the philosophy of let the player run out. Of course, we can't go to instant replay, but we can get other information from other officials to try to piece it together.
Yeah, like 1994 OHSAA.
Or like the 1997 Ridgewood Newcomerstown game. Would have loved to have instant replay to see if Chris Cabot was in the end zone.
He was in.
He was in.
J.J. Huddle, he was in.
J.J. Huddle, the best Huddle name ever. He was in.
That's right. Well, hey, Jamie, this was great stuff, and I appreciate your time. And until next week, thank you very much.
I appreciate it every weekend. Thank you.
In Division 3, Region 9, 3 of the top 4 seeds still remain. Canfield beat Kinston 27-12. They'll move on to play St. J, who defeated Maple Heights 69-32. This could be a real shootout here, folks. Canfield being the number 1 seed, St. V, the 4 seed. They obviously can score some points. I'll go ahead and I'll stay with Canfield in the 1 seed right here to advance to the regional championship. And we have CVCA, the 2 seed, defeated Geneva 42-7. Gates Mills Hawkins, the 3 seed, lost to Akron East 36-16. So CVCA and East will be playing down in the lower bracket. I look for CVCA to come out on top to go ahead and meet Canfield in the regional finals next week. Region 10, Medina Buckeye shut out St. Mary's Memorial 26-0. So they will move on to play Rocky River, who upset the number 4 seed Revere 23-14. I like Buckeye to beat Rocky River in this one. Wapakoneta, the 2 seed, defeated Shawnee 41-16. So they'll be playing Toledo Central Catholic, who won 49-18. TCC is the 6th seed, and I like them knocking off Wapakoneta, the 2nd seed, to go ahead and go to the regional finals against Buckeye. All top 4 seeds remain in Region 11 as Bishop Watterson moves on, defeating Granville 56-0. They will play Tri-Valley, formerly known as the Dresden Jayhawks, who defeated Hamilton Township 41-27. Undefeated Licking Valley knocked off Bloom Carroll 31-24. So they will go into next week's game playing Steubenville, the 3 seed, who scored a 30-point victory over Buckeye Valley, 51-21. I like Steubenville right here. A lot of offensive weapons this season. Licking Valley's magical run comes to an end. Moving over to the west left side of the state, Region 12. London, the 1 seed, defeated Archbishop McNichols 17-14. Jackson, the 4 seed, squeaked by Miami Trace 24-21. So I'll bring a nice London-Jackson matchup. I look for London to move on right there. In the lower part of the bracket, Tippecanoe, the 2 seed, rolled over Talawanda 56-7. Hamilton Baden wins over Kettering Alder by 7, 37-28. So Tippecanoe and Baden matching up. I like Tippecanoe in this one. The Division 3 update was brought to you by Possum Goss Moped Sales and Service. If you need a moped, if you're tired of paying all those outrageous gas prices, buy a moped. Stop and see Possum Goss Moped Service and Sales. Looking at Region 13, Perry, the 1 seed, defeated Cathedral Notre Dame Latin 26-6. So they'll move on to play West Branch. Of course, West Branch, the home of the coaching Haycock brothers, Jim, Jeff, and John. West Branch won 35-14 over Norton. I'm looking for Perry to keep rolling and moving on, protect that number 1 seed. Glenville, the 2 seed, rolled over Salem 49-0. And Minter Lake Catholic defeated Streetsboro 16-0. I would lay the money on Glenville, folks. So it'll be Glenville and Perry meeting in the regional championship a week from now. Region 14, as Devo used to sing, whip it and whip it good. Shelby Whippets whipped Orville 42-0. Lima Bath shut out Bellevue and the Fighting Hayes family 21-0. So Shelby and Lima Bath will meet up the 1 and 4 seeds. Look for the Whippets to continue to roll. They are an offensive juggernaut, but hey, don't sleep on their defense. Their defense has some players too. Down in the lower part of the bracket, Galleon rolled over Cloverleaf 41-10. And Sandusky Perkins hitting their stride at the right time, defeating Napoleon 31-0. I like Perkins, the 6th seed in the upset here over Galleon. So look for Perkins to face Shelby for that regional championship in Region 14 a week from Friday. Region 15, the Panthers of New Lexington rolled over Fairfield Union 39-0. Unoto beat Columbus East 21-12. The Sherman Tanks think they're going to run out of ammunition this week as New Lexington. I look for them to win that game. The lower part of the bracket, the Indian Valley Braves are continuing to scalp opponents as they defeated the Circleville Tigers 48-14. They will face Jonathan Older, who defeated Johnstown 42-21. Once again, Grady Kinsey is a machine. Look for him to continue to run for 150 plus yards, probably more like 200 plus yards. And look for Indian Valley, the defending state champions, to play New Lex in the Region 15 championship next week. Region 16 action, number 1 seed Indian Hill was all over Washington Courthouse like flies on manure, 57-14. Taft, the 4 seed, went ahead and took care of business with Clinton Massey, 44-7. Indian Hills averaging 45 points a game roughly. Taft, very good team, but I like Indian Hill to move on right there in the upper part of the bracket. Moving down to the lower part of the bracket, Valley View 31, Wyoming 21. And then Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy 43, Brookville 21. I look for Valley View, the 2 seed, to go ahead and defeat Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, the 3 seed. So Valley View versus Indian Hill for the Region 16th championship. This Division 4 update was brought to you by the Danville Mini Mart. For all of your quick needs, hey, Danville Mini Mart has the best candy for your kids. If you want to get them all sugared up, if you're a grandparent, go down there and get some Cowtails, get some Reese Cups, you name it. If you need beer, they have ice cold 6-packs. I don't know if they make 6-packs anymore. 12 packs, 18 packs. At one time, they had the Lenny Special 11 packs and 23 packs there. Maybe they still do. But stop in, get gas, get your need. As Vertical Horizon would sing, the Mini Mart has everything you want and everything you need. Now, Division 5 action. Region 17. We have Cardinal Mooney drilling South Range 48-12. Garfield 48, St. Clairsville 31. So you have Mooney facing up against Garfield. I like Bobby Stoops and his brothers, alma mater, Cardinal Mooney, to go ahead and move out of this to the regional championship. Down in the lower bracket, Girard 28, Manchester 14, Poland Seminary 35, Youngstown Liberty 14. Those are the 2 and 3 seeds. Once again, the top 4 seeds all moved on to the Final Four of the region. I'll take Girard the 2 seed, to beat Poland Seminary and to move into that championship game against Cardinal Mooney. Region 18 has 4 of the top 5 seeds still remaining. Liberty Center defeated Oak Harbor 56-6, and Liberty Benton shut out the Norway Bobcats 38-0. I like Liberty Center, the 1 seed, to go ahead and knock off Liberty Union this week. Liberty Benton, excuse me. And then Triway, the 2 seed, beat Fairview Fair Park 45-13. So Triway will now face Genoa, the 3 seed. Genoa can score a lot of points as well as Triway. Triway very athletic. This should be a great game to watch. I'm going to go ahead and take the Titans to move on to the regional championship game against Liberty Center. Region 19, we have some angry Pirates down in Wheelersburg, folks, as they manhandled Morgan 43-3. They'll move on and play the 4 seed Barnesville, who rolled over Portsmouth 34-0. I'm saying in this game right here, as Def Leppard would say, let's get rocked. Barnesville Shamrocks to get rocked by Wheelersburg. Columbus Academy 35, Zane Trace 23. So the Vikings will move on, the 2 seed, to play Nelsonville York, who defeated Union Local 35-0. Hey, the Bucks, they're on a roll. Hometown of legend Gary Forbes. I look for the 3 seed, Nelsonville York, to knock off Columbus Academy to make that regional championship game. Region 20 is just crazy with upsets so far. Maybe the biggest region in the state, with lower seeds winning and moving on. North Union, the 8 seed, knocked off Williamsburg 47-14. Carlisle squeaked by St. Pear's Graham 42-41. So North Union will face off against Carlisle, and I like North Union right here. I think they're battle tested. This is not Carlisle with Jim Thorpe. Maybe just as good as Jim Thorpe's teams back around the early 19-teens. But we're going to stick with North Union right here. In the lower part of the bracket, Indian Lake, the 2 seed, held on to beat Preble Shawnee 17-14. Now, they have to play the 11th seed Cincinnati Marymount. Cincinnati Marymount lost 4 in a row, I believe weeks 3 through 6, roughly. Just trying to remember from the top of my head. And like Sid Gardner, if you do not know who Sid Gardner is, that is Alan's father on the Hangover movies. He would say, son, never leave the table when you're on a heater in Vegas. Let's go with Cincinnati Marymount to win that one. So we'll have the 11th seed Marymount playing the North Union 8th seed in the regional championship, in my estimation. This Division 5 preview was brought to you by the Goalpost Bar and Grill. Looking for a perfect spot to unwind and enjoy great food with friends? Come on down to the Goalpost Bar and Grill, where every visit feels like a winning game. From mouth-watering burgers and delicious wings to refreshing drinks and unbeatable hospitality, they've got it all. Catch all the action on the big screens or relax in a cozy lounge. It's your game day favorite. Remember, come to the Goalpost Bar and Grill and wait till you get the bill. On the Amici's Pizza Hotline, we have Triway head coach Cody Kelly. Coach, how you doing?
Doing great, Coach. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Hey, having a wonderful season at 10-1 right now. Let's talk a little bit about your regular season, 9-1. Can you tell us a little bit about the team?
Yeah, I'm super proud of the guys. I wouldn't say we're veterans. We got 6 seniors on the team, but the 6 seniors are super important to what we do. And this will be my 3rd year here, so guys that I've seen the whole time here and just watching them grow into what they are now. We kind of got hit early on, week 4, took our loss, first game of the pack against a good Northwest team. And you always say, you hear the cliche, it's good to lose early, and it kind of was. We were feeling good after a tough non-conference schedule. I mean, going to West Holmes, having Norway, tough schedule there, and to lose there, and it kind of brought us back down. And since then, we've been playing pretty good ball. We're pretty balanced on offense, and defense is pretty lights out.
I tell you, from what I've heard from other people, you guys are very, very quick. What can you tell us about your team speed?
Yeah, I mean, we're spread-wise. I mean, offensively, we got a couple of receivers who can who can zig and zag out there. But I think really like quickness on our line is helping us a lot too. The defensive line, got Roman Gilbert up there with 12 sacks on the year, almost 25 TFLs. And his counterpart is right there with him with TFLs. We're quick on the line defensively, but we're also quick on receivers as well. So I mean, it's huge when you're not really big. Just to have that team speed is obviously valuable.
What are you guys in? 3 front, a 4 front?
Yeah, we're base 3-4, but we're always sending a fourth. It's kind of a hybrid type thing. It looks like a 4-2-5 a lot, but it's a base 3-4 personnel.
Got it. So those outside linebackers are your studs, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but it's a sophomore and a junior out there right now. And sophomore kind of got thrown in because of an injury to a mic. We had to move a guy in. We had a senior there, and he's coming on great. He's a good tackler out there. And then we have a junior that's more of our edge rusher that comes down and makes us look like the forefront. He's a bigger kid. But yeah, they're both athletic kids, only about 180 and 200. They're not huge, but they're athletic kids.
Yeah, that helps a lot when you can have an athletic kid who's not afraid to hit and get their nose a little bit bloody. So, hey,
that's off the run.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe you can do some other stuff like drop back and get in the flats or whatever you need them to do. Let's talk a little bit about what you did in the week off. You know, I've had a lot of coaches say they liked it. They liked having that week off to get ready. I didn't know how people would, because I even thought about it. You know, when you're on a heater like you guys were, do you really want a week off when you're hot?
Yeah, that was weird. I thought a lot about it. I called some guys to see what they were doing, and I think in the end, I liked it. I told everyone we'll find out after Friday if I liked it or not. But
yeah, exactly.
We'll say we liked it. It was good to, take off like physicality. We tried to keep it routine. We tried to keep them mentally focused and not take that part off. But physicality, we dialed back. We still had practice, but we didn't hit as much. We didn't run as much. Try to recover as much as possible. We weren't super banged up, but anytime you can take a week off your legs, it's going to be valuable. But then to also have time to work on ourselves, we were able to add new tweaks to the offense, new things to the defense. We got 2 weeks essentially to prepare and be ready. So I think that was the most beneficial part, is to kind of look in at yourself before you head into the playoff stretch and see what the self-scout looks like, and some different wrinkles that we can add to help us down the stretch.
Well, it looks like the week off did you well as you beat Fairview 45-13. What can you tell us a little bit about that game?
Yeah, all-around game. Defense, the Fairview game came in averaging 45 points a game. And it's really about getting after the passer. We got a really good QB back there, and D-line did a tremendous job getting pressure. We didn't have any time all night. Our DBs held up pretty well. So we're proud of them on that. And offense, we've just been on a roll lately as far as getting up points-wise, 45 points last week. And I'm just proud of how balanced we are right now. We're not relying on the pass. We're not relying on the run. We're just complementing each other. Our running back at 150 on the ground, which, you hear Triway football in years past, hasn't been us. But we've been able to do that this year, to where teams kind of have to play both on you. When you can do that with a good defense, it makes you tough.
And going into this week, what can you tell us about 10-1 Genoa?
Yeah, they're a tough physical team. They're also very multiple. Offensively, you're going to get the old full house backfield.
Okay.
Double tight end, fullbacks, and then the next play, they'll go empty on you with the same personnel. So obviously that by itself is hard to prepare for, but they're skill-wise. They have a really good 6'4" receiver, and the other backs back there, they're not overly big, but they're very fast, and their line's physical. So, offensively, very good. Defensively, it's the same kids. Very skilled back end. Those kids fly around. And then defensively up front, again, they're physical. So, we've got work cut out for us with what they do. We're just excited to see what we can do on Friday.
Well, hey, in order to get that W at 10 o'clock come Friday night, what do you feel you guys had to have done?
I think it starts with the run game, both sides. They're going to try and go heavy and get 16, 17, 18 play drives, which we've seen on film. We've got to be able to get off the field defensively. We can't sustain 15, 16 plays. We got to, third and fourth down, we got to get off the field. And then offensively, take what they give us. They're fast, and they like to stay in a cover 4 shell. So we got to be able to sustain a run game. If we can get the run game going against that, and then have them come up and we get the pass game over the head, I think that's going to be huge. So it's all about the run game, just stopping the run, and then for us developing a run game.
All right. Well, we want to wish you the best of luck this Friday.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Region 21 had Kirtland in the 1 seed, defeating Wycliffe 41-3. Hanover United, the 4th seed, lost a close one to Smithville, the 5th seed, 27-26. So now Kirtland and Smithville will face off. I look for Kirtland to go ahead and win that game and move on to the regional championship. Columbiana Crestview gets drilled by Garaway, the 7th seed, 34-0. So Garaway moves on to go ahead and play Doughton. Now, what's interesting, Garaway and Doughton used to play each other like roughly game 1, game 2 for many years. They haven't done that the past couple of years. Doughton knocked off Columbiana Station 34-15. The Pirates are on a roll right now. Only loss was to 2 undefeated teams, Indian Valley and Girard. Look for them to continue the roll. I look for them to make the regional championship. And, of course, the great present for winning that game, playing Kirtland. Region 22, Cary, the 9 seed, put it to Margaretta, the 1 seed, 35-7. They'll move on to play undefeated Paulding, the 4 seed, who's barely squeaked by Fairview, 14-10. I like Paulding. I think they're just a little bit more dangerous right here. I think their schedule has prepared them for this type of matchup. Hopewell Loudon, the 2 seed, rolls over Western Reserve, 42-6. So they'll move on to play Archbold, the 3 seed, who had a big win over Seneca East, 44-12. I'll go ahead and take Hopewell Loudon to reach the regional championship against Paulding. In Region 23, Centerburg, the 1 seed, defeated a very scrappy Ridgewood Generals, 28-14. The 4 seed Mount Gilead got blitzed by Colonel Crawford, 42-8. This should be a really nice game coming up. I'm going to go ahead and go with Centerburg. I think this is a very, very complete Centerburg team, and I look for them to move on to the regional championship. Fort Fry, the 2 seed, defeated next-door neighbor Caldwell, 28-14. The Cadets will now move on to play West Jeff, who won by 1 point, 21-20. The Red Knights went for 2 and didn't get it. I like that. Coach Abil going for 2, going for the win. You know, who wants to go for a tie? It's like kissing your relative, and, this isn't West Virginia. So we got West Jeff, the 3 seed, against Fort Fry, the 2 seed. And I think right there, I'm going to go with West Jeff. I just think their schedule has better prepared them for this time of the year. And I think they move on to play Centerburg in that regional championship. Region 24, we saw Tri-Village, the 1 seed, defeat Portsmouth West 54-22. So Tri-Village will move on to play Coldwater, not your typical 5th seed, like we've said before. Coldwater defeated St. Bernard Elmwood Place 38-0. I'm sorry, but Coldwater has been there so many times. Tri-Village is averaging over 50 points a game. Great offense with Tri-Village, but I can't go against Coldwater and the schedule they play and with the MAC. So I'll take Coldwater right there. Down the bottom of the bracket, the 2 seed, Northeastern, defeated Ironton Rock Hill 59-0. And Anna, 46, Mechanicsburg 12. So Anna, another MAC school, in the 6th seed, will play Northeastern. And I got to go with Anna because their only losses have been to Coldwater, been to St. Henry, and Marion Local. That schedule prepared them. So look for a MAC rematch between Anna and Coldwater in Region 24 next week. This Division 6 update was brought to you by Andrews Farms. Andrews Farms is a 6th-generation farm outside Sugar Creek, Ohio, who deals in beef cattle. They'll sell whole live beef to anybody who wants it. Give Matt a call. He'll line it up with Sugar Valley Meats. You pay for the animal based off the live weight, and you pay the butcher fees. Good meat, good treats. Get a hold of Matt at Andrews Farms. On the Amici's Pizza Hotline, we have Jason Wallick, head coach of the Garaway Pirates. Coach Wallick, how you doing tonight?
Doing wonderful. Yourself?
Not too bad. Glad to have you on.
Hey, thanks for having me. Yes, sir.
Doing on a great run now here in the playoffs. Can you tell us a little bit about your season so far? 10-2, only 2 losses to two undefeated teams during the regular season.
Yeah, really coming in, we didn't know what to expect after graduating 16 seniors last year. We had 18 seniors coming in this year, and knew we were going to have to play a little chess at the beginning of the year and move some guys around and see where some things would fall into place. And definitely had some kids step up and play well for us. And, some young kids that have really stepped up. Our seniors, we expect that out of our seniors, but we've had some real nice sophomores step up, a couple juniors, and we've moved a lot of guys around. We're definitely not the team we were at the beginning of the year. I think we looked at the film the other night, Norway. We look back at the Norway game in week 3, and just defensively alone, we've either got 6 kids that have either changed positions or weren't on the field at all at that time. So, our kids have really grown and developed, and we're pretty pleased with where we're at right now. Like you said, we've gotten beat by 2 really good football teams. Obviously, the returning state champions in Indian Valley and a Girard team that is really good. They've got a young man. Their quarterback is also on Mr. Football watch list too. So
okay.
We've lost 2 really good games, 2 really good opponents.
You said you moved around about 5 or 6 kids. What brought that on? Was it some game film? Was it some practice stuff? You thought you needed to switch some people around?
Yeah, a little bit of both, honestly. Coming in, we needed to find a couple linebackers, and Matthew Fry played outside linebacker for us last year. We knew he was going to carry the bulk of the load for us offensively this year, so we didn't want to play him on defense. And we had some guys that didn't perform well early in the year. We had some injuries. Our nose guard goes down week 1, actually from a baseball injury way back in the spring, ends up having elbow surgery week 1. Our defensive end pulled a hamstring and in the first quarter of that game. So, we looked back at it and we hadn't had our 3 starting defensive linemen that we thought we would, play. They played all 13 games last year as juniors. We played on about 2 series against Riverview, and then we didn't play. We didn't have that luxury of playing those 3 guys again until week 8 or 9, I believe, when Cooper finally came back after his elbow surgery. And and it just seems like ever since then we've really started to click and play Garaway defense.
Well, obviously, after beating Ridgewood week 10, 14-0, and then Mineral Ridge 49-7 in the first round. Can you talk a little bit about last week's 34-0 win over Crestville?
Yeah, we knew that game coming in, they had a really good dual-threat quarterback and rushed for 17 touchdowns and threw for 17 touchdowns. And, we knew that was going to be a challenge. We had to contain that young man, the Nolan kid, a really good All-State player from last year. And, I just thought we really flew around defensively. We were very aggressive. And, we were able to contain him and not let him get going because he's one heck of a quarterback, great football player. So, that was key. And offensively, other than the first series, we sputtered there coming out of after the opening kickoff, went 3 and out. But after that, just kind of got the ball rolling. And Matthew ran the ball well. Grady threw the ball well. Our receivers did a great job blocking on the edge and catching the ball when we, called pass plays. So, it was a really good. We felt it was a really good win for us. Hour and a half bus ride up there, and the weather condition wasn't great. So, but our kids blocked all of that out and played well.
That's good. Now you got a familiar opponent in Doughton who you guys used to open up the season with. That you played early on for many, many years.
Many years, yeah. We played them for a long time, and then that series came to an end. I don't know, 10 years or so ago, and then we brought it back, I think, for about 4 years, and they dropped us again, and we're actually going to pick that series back up next year. So, we'll play them week 2 next year. So this will just be a we'll find out where we're at, find out where they're at, and we expect a lot from them. Coach Guybo, his son was our quarterback the last 2 years, and he's now the head coach there, so they know us pretty well and what we want to do, and so they may have the upper hand a little bit there, but we know they're still a very well-coached Dalton football program. A lot of athletes all over the place. They're not real big up front, but they're physical and aggressive. So definitely going to be a big challenge for us.
Okay. Hey, come 10 o'clock Friday night, what did you guys do to win this game?
We've got to sustain drives and finish drives, I think. Defensively, we got to fly around like we have been. Don't give up the big play. And then, like always, you got to win the kicking game. They do a lot of different things on their 2-point conversions, and we got to be prepared. Actually, Eddie, is kind of back like when you coached and had all those great 2-point conversion plays. They do the same thing, so it'll definitely be a challenge for us.
Well, hey, sometimes you got to be creative when you don't have a kicker.
Yes, yeah, and then the crazy part is I think their kicker's actually pretty good, and They actually had a couple penalties against Norway on one PAT, and he, still kicks it, just misses it, but booms it, plenty of leg, and just missed it wide left. It was about a 34-yard attempt. He's got a 34-yard field goal on the year, a 31 on the year. So they got a kicker. I think they just like to, try to get that upper hand and get 2 instead of 1, I guess.
I always said I'd love to just have a game of 2-point conversions.
That would be fun. I've never been. We stole a couple things from you back when you were coaching, and back in your Danville days. And my nephews both play up at Edinburgh, and they do some different things on 2-point conversions. So we've stole some things from them and used them this year. And I've kind of like it. We've gone years that we never had a trick play in, and we probably ran more. If you want to call them trick plays, whatever. But this year than we have in my 25 years total. So it's been fun, I guess getting soft in my old age and giving in on a few things.
Yeah, I know how that goes. I know how you are getting older. This is what, your 25th year at Garaway as a head coach?
25th year as a head coach, 27th overall. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are getting old. Goodness sakes, where did the time go?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. My kids are all graduated except for one, and moving on. And it's been. We're getting old, buddy.
Well, hey, I want to wish you the best of luck this Friday.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Region 25 saw McDonald defeat JFK 28-13, and Monroeville roll over the Hornets of Malvern 34-14. So we have McDonald and Monroeville, the 1 and 4 seeds, matching up this Friday. I like McDonald in that matchup. Down in the lower bracket, East Canton Hornets defeated Fairport Harding 46-26. So they will play Mogador, the 3 seed, who won big over East Palestine 54-7. I like Mogador to get past the Hornets to go ahead and play McDonald for the regional championship in Region 25. Region 26 saw Lima Central Catholic, the number 1 seed, defeat Eden 49-7. The 4 seed Columbus Grove defeated the 5th seed Gibsonburg 28-8. So those two teams will match up. Lima Central Catholic's only defeat this year was to Columbus Grove in a tight game. I like Lima Central Catholic getting through this game, getting their revenge, and moving to the regional championship. Down at the bottom of the bracket, in a basketball score, Gilboa 63, the 7th seed, defeated the 2nd seed North Baltimore 42. So Gilboa will go ahead and play Lipsick, the 3rd seed. They won 36-7 over Mohawk. I like Lipsick advancing over Gilboa this week and going ahead and playing Lima Central Catholic for the regional championship the following week. Region 27 saw the Hillsdale Falcons, the number 1 seed. You got to remember, they won Region 25 last year and went to the Final Four and then the state championship. They moved down to Region 27 this year, and they defeated Conotton Valley 63-6. Remember, Conotton scored 78 points week 1 against Rosecrans Bishops. Guess what? That offense must not have been percolating like it did the week before as Hillsdale shut them down. So Hillsdale's going to be playing Sims Valley. Sims Valley defeated Trimble 41-12. That's going to be a long, long trip for Sims Valley. We're talking 4 hours for them to get to Hillsdale. Hillsdale with the W right there. Now, Waterford Wildcats. If you've never been to Waterford, you're missing something. You got to go up through Beverly, which is home of the Fort Fry Cadets, and go through Beverly, and it's just north, if I remember correctly. And actually, when both teams have a home game on Friday night, you can see both their stadium lights on from the other stadium. Really sort of neat little unique setting right there. Anyhow, Waterford beat the Strauss Vegas Tigers 42-7. So they move on to play the upstart Danville Blue Devils. Danville came in 5-5, the 11th seed. They whitewashed Fisher Catholic 59-0. So Danville just now hitting their stride. This is the best time to hit it. Get on that heater. I like Danville here just because they've been here so many times they don't know nothing else. I'm telling you, Danville kids will play hard. Not that Waterford won't, but just that tradition. They're used to being here, the expectations. I look for a Danville-Hillsdale rematch for the regional championship, just a week earlier than what it was last year in the Final Four. Region 28, we have defending state champions, Marion Local, as they defeated Sidney Lehman Catholic 42-12. They'll take on league rival Fort Recovery. They're the 12th seed, and they defeated Beaver Eastern 38-6. I like Marion Local. Obviously, I'm not going to go away from Marion Local in this region, folks. Neither should you. Down in the lower bracket, St. Henry squeaked by New Bremen 14-7. So now they will play 11th seed Cedarville, who defeated Country Day 49-21. St. Henry's only loss this year was to Marion Local. Look for the rematch the following week right there. That should be a good one. The place will be packed with Marion Local and St. Henry rematch coming for that regional championship in Region 28. This Region 28 breakdown was brought to you by Spearman Financial and Kenton Mickley. I'm telling you what, Kenton is so bright, his mom considered naming him Sonny, but she chose not to, but she should have, because his brightness will make you money. So give Spearman Financial and Kenton a call so your money is making money. Now let's dive into the world of college football. This is brought to you by Options Plus. Stop in and see Tricky Ricky Holt and his son Bubba for all your office needs, whether it's tables, chairs, dry erase boards. They do countertops for your home business. They are fantastic. I have spent many thousands and thousands of dollars with them. In OAC action, Mount Union stays undefeated and the number one team in the nation, knocking off Marietta 30-19. Ohio Northern Polar Bears 30, BW 28. Muskingum in a defensive battle 7, Capital 3. Heidelberg 34, Wilmington 31. And Hanover defeated Otterbein 49-8. In the NCAC, Wabash defeated Oberlin 42-13. Denison over Kenyon 33-18. League leader John Carroll 55, Ohio Wesleyan 17. And DePaul zipped Worcester 59-0. In the President's Athletic Conference, the Ohio schools, let's look at Hiram, got drilled by Westminster 76-0. Case Western lost 14-28 to Grove City. In the HCAC, Mount St. Joseph 48, Manchester 20, and Bluffton had a triple overtime shootout, losing to Franklin 59-57. Moving to Division II, Lake Erie defeated Kentucky Wesleyan 27-9. Tiffin 37, Northwood 40. Ohio Dominican 31, Thomas More 29. Hillsdale defeated Walsh 23-20. And in a defensive battle for league supremacy in the GMAC, Finley holds on to defeat Ashland 14-3. With the NAIA football schools we have in Ohio, Defiance defeated Madonna, Michigan, 56-34. Don't confuse Madonna, Michigan with Madonna Ciccone, or any of the Ciccones from Coshocton for that matter. But, Madonna, like a virgin, that Madonna, not them. Also, Rio Grande lost to Bluefield, Virginia, 21-38. Youngstown State defeated the Southern Illinois Salukis yesterday, 48-38. Now, Division I college football in the MAC, which that MACtion is about every day of the week. OU defeated Miami of Ohio 24-20, and Akron drilled UMass 44-10. Last Wednesday, Kent lost to Ball State 13-17, and Toledo defeated Northern Illinois 42-3. And then yesterday, Bowling Green loses a tight one to Eastern Michigan 21-27. The Buckeyes continue their winning ways. Number one team in the country defeated Purdue Boilermakers 34-10. The defense is just playing still lights out, only gave up 186 yards. They do not get enough credit. Obviously, offensively, we know the big names. Julian Sane, 27-33 for 303 yards. Bo Jackson averaged 5.4 yards a carry, 75 yards. That Jeremiah Smith kid, he's pretty good. 10 catches for a touchdown, 137 yards. So it's all setting up for Michigan coming out last week of the season, folks. Can Ohio State loosen that noose that's been around their neck the last 4 years? We will have to wait and see. We're going to talk about pro football right now in the state of Ohio. Let's talk about the Bengals. They had the bye week, and hopefully they practice some defense because we know Flacco can throw it deep to Higgins, to Jamar Chase. They'll be able to score some points, but defensively they are bad, folks. So maybe they can get something going here the second part of the season. Let's not even waste time on no, we're going to waste time on the Browns. You know what? I've started probably watching football when I was like 6 years old. So I'm 56 now. I have wasted 50 years of my freaking life on those pot lickers. They put a horrible product on the field. It's ridiculous who's running that football team and who's coaching that football team, that they cannot put any better product or game plan out there. For goodness sakes, why don't we bring back Brian Sipe to play quarterback, even however old he is, probably 75. Let's bring Doug Deacon and Joe DeLamiere back. Let's get Langhorne and Slaughter back. They're in their late 50s. Hell, they're better than what they have right now. It is ridiculous. Somebody needs to take the bull by the horns. I'm telling you, Helen Keller could do a better job at running the freaking Browns. Maybe Mr. November should go run it. Goodness sakes alive. I'm telling you, something needs to be done. People shouldn't go to their games. Don't pay money to go see that garbage. Go watch Detroit. At least they can finally got it figured out after 40, 50 years of sucking. Goodness sakes. All right, getting off my soapbox. I want to thank everybody for listening to Mr. November's Ohio Football Episode 3, and I'm going to leave you with this little nugget of wisdom. Remember, you can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. I am gone.